Hello and welcome to Clarke Farms. We've got a special treat today. I'm going to be taking a look at the new Clarke Farms map by MRG Mapping. This is a map based on a real-life farm, Clarke Farms, who is putting videos out on YouTube and kind of talking about farming and showing off his farm. He's a first-generation farmer who's been farming for a few years now. I think this is like his fourth year farming. And I just started watching his videos in the last few weeks, and a really interesting guy, fun to watch, and he has a pretty unique farm setup, and so I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel. He's looking to get to about 10K subscribers before this map releases, and the last time I checked a little bit ago, he was at 9.9K, so he's got about 100 subscribers to go. And so this map is getting ready to release here in the next week or so. As soon as he hits 10K, I think MRG Mapping has a handful of things he's still cleaning up on this map. He gave me a short list of things, so I might point a couple of those out just because they aren't quite there yet, but there's some really cool features coming. And I'll also give MRG Mapping a plug here. He's been putting out some amazing maps, and I know I've enjoyed a lot of them. Elkader, Iowa, Farmersburg, Iowa, Mercer County are all maps that MRG Mapping has put out in the last several months. And he's got Clarke Farms coming out here in a week or so. And then I know he's also getting close on Marksville, Wisconsin. And one of his conditions of releasing Marksville, Wisconsin is he wants to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, you know, go check these guys out, drop them a subscribe, and, you know, really they're putting out great content. And so I'll put their links in the description of the video here. But with that, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at this map because I am super excited about it. And this is a very Midwest style map. It's based on a farm in, I believe, southwestern Indiana. And what I love about this map is just the, you know, authentic feel. Now, I grew up in southern Minnesota, so there's, you know, a little bit of different style in some of the farming and stuff, but I just really love how this farm is laid out. So I'm going to go ahead and enable flight mode here, just to be able to kind of jump up and show off this farm a little bit easier. And so you can see here, we've got a lot of different buildings. We've got a little bit of a bin set up here. We've got a cattle area over here. And then you've got a lot of surrounding farms. You've got some really cool terrain that we'll take a little bit closer look at. A lot of like rolling, hilly type terrain. And so this is just a really cool map. Now I'm going to jump into the PDA here. I did mess things up a little bit with developer tools. I wanted to buy all of the fields on the map so that I could see some of the icons for the different farms. And so we do have 2 cattle farms on the map right now. And there will be a hog farm set up here as well that we're going to go take a look at because it's super awesome American style hog farms. So let's take a quick walk through this farm, and I'm just going to jump back down here into normal mode and kind of point out some of the unique features on the map. So first off is lots of shed storage, which isn't necessarily unique, but the way that it's laid out, I mean, it's very much well, it's based on his real farm, but lots of shed space laid out very well. I love these maps, the attention to detail, and you have the sell point, or the purchase point, I should say, right here in this back of the shed. And so when you buy a tractor here, and I, you know, went ahead and bought one when I was setting things up, they're going to appear right here on your farm, kind of off to the side of the driveway, which is actually really cool because this is a normal sized map. And what I love about MRG Mapping style of maps with his normal size maps, and, you know, I'm really thinking about Farmersburg as well when I compare this, is you've got a lot of variety here. You've got some, you know, small to medium sized fields up on the north side of the map here. You've got some, you know, fairly decent sized fields on the south side here. If I click on field 3 here as an example, that's a 133 acre field, which by farm sim standards is a pretty big field. That's going to take you a while to work, especially if you're doing it yourself and not using things like Courseplay. And so, you know, my point to that is, this is really the only main farm on the map, although there are some other areas that you could use as farms around the map if you did want to play multiplayer and set a couple of them up yourself. But what I like about it is it makes the map feel so much larger than it is. And so you can get away with being a standard size map, but feel like you're, possibly even a 4X map with how it's laid out. We do have all of our sell points are down here in one area in the corner of the map here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump down here real quick. And you've got a bunch of bulk buy points here around this building in the middle. You have an animal sell point or animal dealer here, sell buy. And then I think you've got a bunker here for your lime. You've got a milk sell point here. So that you are going to be able to do dairy on one of those farms. And then over on the other side of the road, you've got your grain elevator, and you're going to be able to sell your grain here. And so if I look at the PDA, you can see there's only 3 sell points, and they're the base sell points that you need to be able to do things on the map. So you've got a barn for bales, farmers co-op for grain, and then a milk sell point. And so you won't be necessarily able to play the markets and sell the different sell points and have different prices. You're just going to have one price point on the map, which honestly for me I kind of like. I don't like having to worry about where there's a ton of different sell points. Different people have different styles though, but this is, I think, for smaller maps the way to go. We do have the bale buy point here on the backside of this, so that's pretty cool as well. And so if we just jump up here into flight mode, you can see, I'll come down a little bit closer to the ground here. You can see what I was talking about earlier with this terrain. It is not a flat map by any means. In fact, some of these dips, these are fairly significant hills and dips. And so, you're going to have to really think about what kind of equipment you're using to farm some of these fields. You're going to need a little bit of extra horsepower than you might use on a completely flat map to farm a field like that. And the other thing that I kind of like about this map is watching Clarke Farms videos. One of the things that was really interesting to me with his farm style is a lot of his fields are smaller fields that are kind of trapped back behind a bunch of trees. And he talks a lot about the effect on, the yield of his fields based on the fact that they're, surrounded by these clumps of trees, and you get, animals and stuff eating your corn. And I just kind of like the feel of, these sections that are kind of trapped back behind terrain, a little bit out of sight. It's definitely going to keep things interesting. You're going to have a little bit more to look at when you're farming. It's not just giant flat fields for as far as you can see, which is, for me, I'm always looking for something to just mix it up a little bit and to have some variety in my farming. So you do have some of these, smaller farms, like I mentioned, like this one. It's got a few sheds on it. And so if you were going to play multiplayer and maybe somebody else wanted to set up another small farm operation, you've got some areas that you can definitely do that with. And it just gives you a little bit more decoration on the map. This is another, house that's set up on the hill here that's got some land. Now this is some pretty hilly land, so you're going to have to do some landscaping if you wanted to try and set a farm up on that. But we've got these nice, little fields here back behind the trees, so that's pretty cool. One of the other things that I really want to show off are these hog enclosures. And so if we just jump down here back into normal mode, coming from southern Minnesota, I actually worked on a hog farm for a while, and this is much more the style that I'm used to, and I just don't see a lot of hog enclosures like this on farm sim maps. And it's just really cool to me to see a more Midwest American style hog setup, with your you got your feed bins, you got your water. And I know MRG Mapping said that he's still working on getting these implemented right now. So I'm not going to be able to jump in and start hog farming today, but just seeing the way that these are set up and the look and feel, Very excited to be able to give this a try. And if I'm not mistaken, we've got, you know, our slurry outputs here as well. So this is just going to be a really cool addition to the map to kind of play around with. And then if we just jump back up here and head back over towards the main farm, I think I probably forgot to show off. This is the other cow pasture. And, you know, you've got your lean-tos. You know, I think that this is probably going to be, you know, where you can drop some straw. You've got your feed area for hay there, you know, your manure. So this is going to be a pretty cool setup to play around with. We got your slurry output there, I believe. And you've got some nice decorative pieces here around the map. I'm not sure what he's going to do for providing augers, or if that's something that you're going to have to do yourself for the bin setup. But we're going to go take a look at that. We do have a fuel trigger here, which is awesome. And so if we come back over to the main farm, I think we kind of went through the sheds and stuff, but I didn't talk about the bin setup here. And so we do have a number of standalone bins. And if I go into debug mode, yes, these are going to be the type of bins where you can put an auger onto them and fill them each from the top, empty out of these spouts on the bottom. So I really love this. This is, you know, great for that small to medium-sized American farm setup where, you know, you're moving augers around and filling carts and trucks and stuff. And then here we've got a grain dryer setup. And this is not implemented yet, but one of the notes I have from MRG is that he is going to make this a functional dryer. So I don't know exactly what he plans on doing there, but I anticipate you're going to be able to put your grain in a wet bin here and then auger it out of this dryer in some way. So that's going to be a lot of fun to play around with. That's been one of the funnest features for me in Farm Sim 19 that people have been putting in different types of grain drying mechanics just to give you that realistic feel. And he also, MRG Mapping has also said that he's going to get the power lines are on his list of things to fix up and do some things with. So I'm not too concerned about how those line up now. My experience on his other maps is that he's got a lot of attention to detail, so I expect those are going to get cleaned up here shortly. So with that, and I don't know if I pointed out, there's a workshop in this shed, so that's pretty cool. Now, with that, this has been kind of just a quick general walkthrough of this map. I am going to start doing a Let's Play series on this map. Which will be the third series I'm trying to run concurrently, assuming the Minnesota Millennial Farmer map comes back out at some point. So this one's going to be a little bit different, though, since Clarke Farms runs red equipment. I'm going to do a red series. I know I'm typically more of a John Deere guy, but a lot of viewers have been asking for a little bit more variety. And so I'm looking forward to trying out some red equipment. Luckily for me, Clarke Farms did a equipment farm tour on his channel about a year ago. And so I was able to figure out what type of equipment he's using. Not 100% of it is replicated in Farming Simulator right now, but a number of things are. And I was super excited about this tractor specifically, which is on the in-game Giants Mod Hub. He's got one of these on the farm, and this is a medium-sized tractor, but it's articulated. And so that's really cool. I haven't driven a lot of articulated tractors, and so we're going to be trying this out, getting this hooked up. I think he actually runs it on a grain cart in the fall. So that's going to be a lot of fun to play around with. And I've got a lot of other older equipment. But one thing that I need to do is track down some planters and get that going. I think I've got all the other equipment except for I couldn't find his harvester and I couldn't find the planter that he's using. But everything else, I've got something that's pretty close. So we're going to be getting that set up and kicking off a proper Let's Play on this map here over the next couple of days. So hopefully you're as excited about another great looking Midwest American map as I am. And if you are, please go ahead and head over to Clarke Farms. Leave him a like and a subscribe on his videos. Get him up to 10,000 subscribers so that this map can get released. And head over to MRG Mapping. Give him a sub. He's been streaming on a lot of the maps that he's made, including on Clarke Farms and his other new map, Marksville, Wisconsin. And I have to say, he's a pretty entertaining live streamer. I've dropped into a couple of his live streams in the last week, and always having a good time when he's out there. So, you know, go ahead and head on over there and check out his YouTube channel as well. I said earlier, the links are in the description to both of those. And yeah, that's all for today. Kedrick?